All right, folks. How you guys doing? It's finally here. It's finally announced. Um, I know this came to a shock to a lot of people, and certain people it kind of didn't. First of all, Milwaukee did a great job keeping this hush hush, and the people who were at the event did a great job of keeping this hush hush. You know, uh, this thing never leaked, man. There was a lot of people there, so it just tells you, having good people. Well, we did have to sign a waiver, but anyway. All right, so we know, right, guys? It's a new platform, the MX. There's around 6 tools. But my Instagram has been going nuts with private messages, private texts, all kinds of. What do you think about this? Now, from the messages and posts and emails that I've gotten, people are a little not. I'd say there's more of a negative feedback to a degree, but obviously, when you kind of explain to people what this is about, it's kind of like the Makita 40 volt guys. A lot of people, I got to buy all new tools, and I spent $6,000 on Makita tools. Now I got to throw them all in the garbage because they came out with a new platform. Like the Makita 18 volt tool, as soon as the 40 volt tools are released, they're going to disintegrate in your hand and not work anymore. Right? So this is kind of the same thing. Now, this is my personal opinion I'm going to give you because if I was to answer everybody's questions that they've asked me what my thoughts are about this is just my opinion on this stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you. Just going back to when this was released back in June, people were going crazy, and they're knocking each other over trying to get pictures, and oh wow, and everybody, there was a lot of excitement. I was like, oh, okay, and I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw this power supply, I was like, oh, please, no. And I know a lot of you guys wanted this to be an 18 volt power supply. I mean, why the hell couldn't it have been an 18 volt power supply? Now, that doesn't mean, now this whole thing is designed, it's engineered, it's constructed. I think if they were to come out with an 18 volt version of this, I think that would ease a lot of people. This is the number one tool probably for the last 2 or 3 years. Tool Boss, DeWalt's had a power station out for 5 years. Ryobi's got a 40 volt, 300 watt, and a 1500 watt power supply. Ego's got one. Milwaukee, they're going to come out with one. What's going on? So, not to say that they're not going to come out with one, guys, but I know a lot of people's hearts went to, I know mine did. Because, we got the DeWalt power station, $199. Like, how much is this stuff going to cost, guys? That's what it's all about, is the feasibility of all these tools here. That's. I think a lot of people. We all knew Milwaukee had to do something, right? We got Makita coming out with a 40 volt. DeWalt has a Flex Volt 60. Ego's doing some of these crazy outdoor power tools with a 56 volt battery. Now I think the main idea, the main gist of everyone's opinion would be that Milwaukee would kind of do what Makita did to a degree. All right, you got a 14-inch cutoff saw here. All right, let's slap 2 batteries on it, 2 18-volt batteries on this sucker instead of 1. All right, we got a 9-inch that we're powering, right, with a 1 18-volt battery. I think we can do a 14-inch with 2, right? It's going to come down to, like, how long can you run this for? Right? People who are using this stuff all day, it takes, I think, 90 minutes to charge the 40 cell battery. All right. They wouldn't tell us the voltage of these batteries. Right? If they were, 36 volt, 56 volt, 72 volt. I think there's rumors that they're 72. I don't know. They don't want you to care That's what the reps kept telling us. It doesn't matter what the batteries are. People were asking, and they were kind of starting to get a little PO'd. So it doesn't matter. But what does matter, I want to be honest with you guys, is the size of these things and the cost. That's what's going to make or break this platform. You know, you can get a 14-inch cutoff saw for, $800. Obviously some of the better ones, $1,000 to $1,200, right? Where, these guys on the construction site, they don't have time to waste. Within 30 seconds, your 14-inch cutoff saw runs out of gas. 30 seconds later, it's back running again. Now, how many batteries are you going to need, and what's the cost? All right, if you're investing in something like this, guys, again, we know the 9-inch with 2 batteries is $900. So I can only imagine what this is going to cost. So is the guy who's using this cutoff saw every day for 3-4 hours a day, are they going to spend $1,600 on this? And then, all right, it comes with what, 2 batteries maybe? Okay, how much time can you get out of it? Now that's the thing, how many batteries? If it comes with 1 battery and it's $1,200 or $1,300 comes with 1 battery, then you got to buy another battery for $300. And, it takes 90 minutes to kind of charge the big battery. I mean, is this going to last at least 90 minutes of continual use where you can kind of switch the batteries out? That's going to be the question with some of this stuff. Now, I think as much as I know a lot of people were kind of pissed about the power supply, this might be an option, guys. I think this, we know the advantages to battery powered, even lithium ion generators, power supplies, right? There's one advantage. They don't make no freaking noise. They make absolutely no noise. So that is absolutely huge. Now, there's obviously a lot of cheaper options that are going to be out there than this. We know about the DeWalt power station, $199 it was, bare tool, where, again, you have, real quick, my one buddy just texted me who was a DeWalt guy, all right, for 10 years. He switched to Milwaukee around 12 to 13 months ago. He actually, September of 2018, he switched. And in that amount of time, we're talking 1 year, he has amassed 25 Milwaukee batteries. All right, kits he bought, get a free battery, extra battery here, extra 2 amp hour battery, extra, 2 3s for free. So in 1 year, just buying some of these kits, he's amassed 25 batteries. So, where you're kind of using that cutoff saw, you got two 8 amp hour batteries on there, and you get, 45 minutes. People have, that's why the power station is amazing, because, you can slap 4 12s on there. All right. Now, again, not everybody has 4 12s, but if you got 4 5s, okay, and whatever you're using, I don't know what you're going to power, but odds are, if you have the power station, you're going to have other batteries. So you can slap, maybe you have 2 6s, two FlexVolt 6s, a 4, and a 3. Now, the other 5 that you just used, that just died, you can be charging them. And you put them on a rapid charger, they're going to charge in 30 minutes. Now, again, you might have 2, or you buy these kits, you get extra chargers. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there where, I don't know what this power supply is going to come with. Is it going to be $1,500 with 1 battery? Now, they say you can power a 55-inch TV for 7 hours. That's awesome. That's why I'm saying with this tool, I can see Milwaukee people who are in their 18-volt platform kind of getting this. Now, they want it to be 18, of course, so they're going to kind of have to invest in this battery. But, I can see them maybe kind of getting this, but it's going to be how much, right today, guys, today on Home Depot, for $500, you can get I think it's a 2,000 watt power supply. I think Sunjoe or Sanjo, whatever the hell they are. It's the deal of the day. It's $499. Now, that it doesn't have batteries. You have to charge it ahead of time. This is more like the Ego. This is more like the DeWalt power station where you got to have batteries, charged. There's separate batteries to charge it, right? So, believe me, not making any noise is huge. I know a lot of people that are going to these. I know tons of people that have the power station. I think most of us were kind of hoping that, all right, the DeWalt power station came out 4 years ago. All right, 1,800 watts, 3,600 max startup watts. It's 5 years later. Maybe they can eke out with 4 Milwaukee batteries, 2,000 watts, 4,000 starting watts. All right. I think that's what people, and they might still do something like that. I don't know. But the power supply and the lights, I think, are the two tools that I think maybe people will kind of invest in kind of soon. I just don't see people investing in some of these, like this breaker. I mean, this stuff is just going to eat power. Now, I don't know what the specs are of runtime, but again, obviously most of these breakers are corded, so you don't have to have cords, right? So that's kind of an advantage, right? But it's all going to come down to cost, guys. All right, that's going to be, I think, the cost and runtime is going to be the sign of if this platform is going to survive. Again, if you can get a corded breaker for $700, right? $800, you got to run a cord. It sucks. But are you going to spend $1,600 on this one? I don't know what the price is. Let's just say it's $1,200, and it comes with one battery. Now, all right, $1,200, one battery. The guy who's using this is using this all day. Now, all right, how much is another battery? Well, the small one's $300 and the big one's $400. Now, it's about investment, guys. Is the pro tradesman, is the person who are using these tools all day, does this make sense for them? Does it make sense? We know there's advantages, right? They're lighter, less noise, no fumes. But is that alone going to be what makes them leave gas or the cord to invest the money that this is going to cost? I think the tools are going to perform, guys. I think all these tools are going to perform. It's going to be about how much the batteries are and is it feasible? And that's what it's going to come down to. But again, this, for the people that are carpenters, plumbers, electricians, woodworkers, framers, this has nothing really to do. This is really for a niche kind of market, right? Construction, job site construction people that are using cutoff saws, breakers, stuff like that. So obviously to have a battery this huge and this heavy and probably this expensive, they're not going to slap it on something that, doesn't make sense, right? So it's not, and most people don't use these tools in their trade. But for the people that do, this might make sense and it might not. We'll have to see. I like I said, it's real simple, guys, in my opinion. And this, people ask me, what's my thoughts? My thoughts are, there's a couple tools that people might invest in. And there's a couple tools that I don't think are going to work out too well. Even though we know about the advantages, guys. I just don't think that the runtime and the price is going to make people switch from what they're doing now. Now, you're going to pay a premium for convenience, but are you willing to really invest, you know, you're going to need a lot of batteries, guys. One battery to run this breaker for maybe an hour, let's say an hour and a half, okay? Then it takes 90 minutes to charge that battery. All right, so you have to buy another battery. All right, we're going to buy the cutoff saw too. So people are probably not just going to buy one of these tools if they're going to invest in it. They're going to buy the breaker. They're going to buy the cutoff saw. They're going to buy the handheld core drill, the core drill here. So how many batteries are you going to need, right? And what happens when there's something goes bad with a battery, right? Maybe someone busts a battery. Now, instead of, running a tool that you have to use that day to get the job done, now, instead of having 4 batteries, you got 3. Now you got to go run out and spend $400 on another battery or $300. This is just like what the people who are going to use this stuff, these are the questions they're going to ask before they buy it, right? What's with the battery? Is it warranted? This stuff, can it get wet? Does this have IP ratings where, a lot of this stuff is going to be outside? These lights, this is 27,000 lumens, all right? Now, like I said, I don't know. Would you rather spend $600 on 3 rocket lights where you got 7,500 lumens and, they're easy to break down, a lot easier to, store, to pack up. This is kind of a big, it doesn't look like it's too hard. You guys has wheels on it, but you have to store it somewhere. I don't know. I'm just thinking, we know the rocket light with a free 5, $300, $200. We've seen them cheaper than that. We've seen them for $125, guys, for 2,500, where you can plug it in or use the battery. Is buying 3 or 4 of them for the job site worth it over spending? I don't know. This light is probably going to be what, $2,000? And how long? 27,000 lumens. How long can this run 27,000 lumens for? Obviously, at nighttime, it's only really dark for what, 10 hours? So if it can get 10 hours, and now you got to charge this battery for the next night, that might work. Like I said, this light and the power supply are the 2 tools that I can see people kind of investing in first and maybe trying out. But and it's not to say, guys, just my opinion. I don't know how much this stuff cost. If I did, I've been trying to learn more since this announcement came out by hitting this learn more button. There's no learn more. I don't know if there's so many people on the site, but I can't find anything about price on any of this stuff. Now, maybe other people have done that research and they know the prices of this. And once I do, I'll talk about it again, and it might make more sense. I'm honestly going off the top of my head here. Something like this doesn't use a lot of power. A sewer drum, I think this will be, again, I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I think, I think this is a pretty solid, tool. But did you have to do this? I don't know. I'm just thinking of everybody, right? The people who are in Milwaukee's platform. Now, again, this isn't made for them. It's not going to change anything. And who the heck knows? Maybe they're going to make an 18-volt sewer drum where you hook 2 batteries up to, right? Or 3 batteries up to. I don't know what their plan is, to be honest with you. I have no idea. And I think that's what a lot of people want to use these tools that still they would never use. They're never going to use a breaker. But I think a lot of people, oh, man, I'm not getting into that. I think everybody just needs to relax. This is 6 tools for a specific trade, and it doesn't really affect them. And I was surprised. I don't think, there's not, I don't know. I thought the buzz would be kind of bigger in a way. But when it comes down to it, guys, like I said, people were going nuts. I saw some of these tools, and I'm like, well, that's really a niche tool. That's really a niche tool. All right, it's cool that, and we got to give Milwaukee props for making some of these tools that run on freaking batteries, right? But it's just most of the people that are in Milwaukee's platform have no need for some of this stuff. But the ones that do, they already invested a lot of money into a lot of this stuff already. I don't know if for the convenience of it, if they're gonna spend it again. All right, that's what we'll have to find out. But yeah, you can even add this in the sewer drum, the power supply, and the light. I just don't think with the the more power driven tools like the handheld core drill, the cutoff saw, and the breaker. I don't know if people are going to invest that type of money to get into something where it's a lot of money and it's battery powered and you got to have a certain amount of batteries. That's more money. And if something goes wrong with a battery, now you're shut down for the day. And you could say, things happen to gas powered and corded power stuff too. But it's really about the cost. And that's what's gonna decide its fate, I think. We seen that DeWalt came out with that OPE 40 volt line worth of tools there. It lasted 3 years. I predicted it 3 years ago. I have a video from 2016 saying that this line will fail. There's no advantage to this line over the 20 volt stuff. Now, again, a little bit more power on some of the tools, but most of the tools had the same power as the 20 volt. You're just paying a lot more. And the ultimate fail of that platform was the battery. It was a huge brick, a huge heavy battery that once you put on a blower or a weed whacker, it was heavy as hell, and you just didn't have the runtime. 20 minutes with a handheld blower is not. Why am I switching over and spending that kind of money? So it's going to come down to what these tools can do. Again, runtime wise and the cost. If there's a 20% premium with this breaker over a corded breaker, I think it'll do well. I just don't think that that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be, a little bit more than that. And again, I don't know how many batteries are they going to offer. One battery kit for $1,200 and a 2 battery kit for $1,500. If that's the case, it's going to come down, and I'm sure Milwaukee designed these tools to last all day. But we'll have to see. Now, if they can go all day with one battery, people might make that investment. But, this is just my first general opinion on some of this stuff. And, honestly, the gut check of it is I just don't think people are really I don't know if they're ready for battery powered breakers and a battery powered cutoff saw. We have that 9-inch out from DeWalt for a long time, right? Milwaukee's coming out with one. The people I talk to, they still kind of laugh at it. Now, it can do a lot of stuff, guys. I actually got a review coming up on the DeWalt pretty soon. But overall, the amount of runtime, it's just not there for a lot of people. Now, this is why Milwaukee has gone to this bigger battery, so we can get the runtime, we can get the power. But I don't know. We'll have to see. This is all kind of new to everybody. It's all up in the air. Just again, my general opinion on some of the stuff. I think some of the stuff will work out to a degree, and I think some of it won't. But the market will tell us, and we will know fairly quickly. And we will also know if they're coming out with new tools in this line, or if they're not. But I think Milwaukee was smart, and I think they did their research, and they obviously wouldn't invest the amount of money into this platform if they didn't think it would do. If there wouldn't be an interest in it. Again, it's a very niche market to a degree. Now, when I say niche, I don't want to say niche. There's obviously a lot of people that do this type of work, construction, but most of the people that are in these trades with these tools are using corded or gas powered. Okay, and again, my gut check tells me I don't know if most of them are ready or really believe in battery powered stuff yet. But we will see, folks. All right, equipment that is redefined, fix all, fit all MX fuel equipment, and this 40. These are the two batteries. One's a 20 and one's a 40. I can tell you the 40 is, it's got to weigh around 5 pounds, if not more than that. I would say probably 6 pounds minimum. Minimum. You know, and when it comes down to like I don't know what's the, I don't know. I don't know the advantage of it with the cutoff saw. You know, I just don't know what the advantage would be. You know, it's still going to be heavy because of the battery. You know, it's still going to make noise. I mean, you're cutting metal with it. And it's not going to be as loud, right? Okay. You don't have any fumes and all that, but and obviously they're saying that this has the same or more power than some gas-powered cutoff saws. But again, is the guy going to invest? Is he going to want to kind of charge batteries and walk around with 2 or 3 of these big 6-pound batteries? I don't know. We'll have to see, folks. But we'll talk more about this stuff when we find out more. This is just my first little take on this new MX Fuel 72 volt, possibly 56 volt, maybe 108 volt. Who the heck knows? New tools. But again, guys, it doesn't really affect you. 90% of you guys really have no need for any of these tools except maybe, again, the power supply and the light. And obviously, you know, the niche market here for the sewer drum. But I don't think this is going to use a lot of power. So I think this is actually a pretty good tool for lithium ion. But again, how much is it? And that's what we'll have to see. All right, folks. Peace.